Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Tuesday. I had to think about what day it is. It is Tuesday. Another blistery cold day here in the new year. I think this morning the low was 4 degrees with a wind chill of -10, so it's been really, really cold today. I actually wore a jacket for most of the day, which I've already taken off, but I did wear a jacket for the majority of my day because it is quite cold, even in the house. Because I've told you before, the central unit doesn't like to keep up with the temperature. So it was rocking, I think, around 68 degrees in the house. And for wintertime, that's a little chilly. I would like to definitely have it a little warmer, closer to 72 to 74. But alas, you do what you can. So I've been stoking the fire all day downstairs in hopes of getting to warm up the house because I'm about to freeze. I think I'm going to freeze to death before winter actually hits or is over, I should say, because I don't think I'm going to survive it. This cold temperature is really starting to wear thin on my nerves, I should say. When it gets this cold outside and when the temperature starts to feel like this, that is when I start to think, would I really want to live here forever? And should I possibly move to Orlando? I've thought about that many times, moving to Florida because it is so much warmer, besides just moving to Disney, for Disney reasons. But moving because it is warmer and I can tolerate it a little better would probably be what I'm looking forward to. Also, again, using the Osmo today, trying to get it together. I will tell you, if you're thinking about getting one, it's really cool. It makes your videos a lot smoother. I've not really used it to all the advantages that I can use it for. But so far, it seems to be working really, really well. And I like how it steadies my hand and the videos quite a bit better than the standard me holding it. Because normally when I hold it, it's a lot more jumbly and jerky. And that's just not a good look when it comes to videos. I will say that other than the few things that I haven't done with it yet, the worst thing I will say about it is the DJI app. The DJI app, I was going to use it this morning to attempt to do some tracking when I do the video and recording. Just because I want to see what it does, full on use with doing the vlog style with the tracking feature that it does have. And unfortunately, the tracking feature isn't working because the app is not working. I don't know if it's because I need to update my phone or if the app needs to be updated, but it crashes and it won't even load this morning. So that's the downfall to the Osmo so far, is the actual app itself that DJI has provided. And that, to me, is a little bit annoying. And I'm also playing with the gimbal portion right now. So that's the annoying part for me right now, is I can't use the active track feature, which is what I really would like to use while doing vlogs, so I can put the tripod or the Osmo down and actually work with it versus holding it in my hand, which I'm doing right now. And I'm sure you could probably tell as it does move a little. I don't know if you can see it's moving, but I can see it's moving. But it is cool. I really do like it so far a lot, and I really want to put it to good use to do some sort of cinematic shots of the outside world. The next time I go probably to the mountains or someplace like that, I'll be able to put it to use and kind of see some of the additional benefits and features of recording it. Oh, hey, I hit the button. Recording when not in use. It does get some really good shots, I will say that. It will take some practice to get used to using it. And, taking it in stores and stuff if I go shopping, probably not going to happen because it is fairly large when it comes to size. It does fit in my hand. It kind of reminds me of a Wii remote. And if you remember the older Wii remotes in that size aspect, it's a little heavier because it doesn't have a battery in it. I will say the battery life on it seems to be pretty strong, though. I've only charged it once, and that was the night that I got it, and I have not charged it since. So it seems to be holding up a battery charge pretty well. Now, I do have a DJI drone. I have the Phantom 4, and I know the gimbal on it pretty well and how stable it is. And so that's why I jumped on the board for this particular model, because it's basically the same gimbal that is in the Phantom 4 drone. It's just in a handheld stabilizer, which is really nice. And again, for me, who I do like to swap hands a lot, and I do like to talk with my hands and shake about. Don't get me wrong, my iPhone does have stabilization, but only in the back-facing camera. The front-facing camera does not. And so, you know, you get a lot more shake than you would normally. So that's why most vloggers use a tripod. I have a tripod. You can actually see it in the background. I have a small tripod that I do use periodically to put on top of things to video. And it does have a phone mount that goes with it, and this is pretty neat. I mean, it's a standard little snappy spring-loaded phone mount, and it works pretty well for the job it does, and I don't mind that, actually, not at all. And I like the fact that the tripod does have the grippy legs that will bend and shape to what you need it to, so that you can put it wherever you want. I'm trying to put it down without knocking things over. So it does really work well in that aspect. I bought it on Amazon, that tripod, if you're interested in getting a tripod for your phone or your camera. I think I spent 20 bucks on that on Amazon, if that. And it works really well. It does the job, and that's really what a tripod's supposed to do, right? Stand up. Now, I do have a big tripod that I used for photography. I really did use it a few times. The Osmo will actually hook to the bigger tripod. It doesn't hook very well. The one thing that I have a complaint on for the Osmo is the tripod mount for the Osmo is on the side of the Osmo. It's on the side about where my thumb is sitting right now, which is kind of irritating because you have to have a side mount to mount it to the tripod. And most tripods have a flat surface that they attach to. Now, keep in mind, most tripods are going to have a screw that you screw into, so I would imagine I can probably get a larger screw and stick in there and use to mount to my tripod. But I really wish they'd have put the screw portion on the bottom of the Osmo. That would have made more sense to me, but they didn't. They put it on the side. So that's a slight irritation that I may have for the Osmo. I just looked at myself because I moved my arm. But that's the slight irritation, is I'd really like it to be on the bottom. If it had been on the bottom, it would have been much easier to mount. You just screw it on and it would have been straight up and down versus having to screw it to the side and hope you get it steady. But other than that, I'm loving it. It does have a really lot of cool features that I can use. Right now it's locked in place. I just let go of the lock. So what that does is when I move it over, I can control it with the controller on the handle. I can hold the lock button or the trigger on the back, and when I do, it holds the altitude or longitude or whatever you want to call it of the Osmo, so that no matter which direction I move it, the camera always stays where it is. I keep looking at myself in the camera because I'm trying to see how it looks. But I'm rotating my wrist right now from side to side, and it does a pretty good job of locking in place. If I let go of the lock, it does kind of get like a free floaty move, and you can see it kind of goes up and restabilizes back to where it's supposed to. The active track feature, I wish I could show you guys that, but because it's not working right now, I can't. It does a really cool time-lapse feature as well. The app has some really cool features in it. Another drawback for the app for me also is the camera zoom is a lot more zoomed in than the standard iPhone, because I use an iPhone 7 Plus, wrong direction. I use an iPhone 7 Plus, so you can see it pretty much at my face, and I mentioned this yesterday. It's a lot more zoomed in when you use the app, and I don't really like that feature at all. So there is that as well. But all in all, the app, once you get it working, or if it works, does have some really cool features. It has a time-lapse feature, which I think is really cool. Your iPhone, if you have an iPhone, has a time-lapse feature already, but the time-lapse feature on there allows you to do a panoramic time-lapse. I took some while driving. I don't remember if I put them in any of the videos that I did since I got it, but not really anything I can do a time-lapse video of the interior of my office for, because nothing's moving, so you would just see motion, which is kind of weird. But hopefully if the app will start working at some point, I will be able to do some really cool stuff with that and that feature. So that's kind of what I'm hoping that happens. Yeah. So enough of me gabbing on about the Osmo and some of the benefits. I'm not really sponsored by any means, because like I have like 3 people that watch this. 3, maybe. And, ooh, 8. Camera tilt. And so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm still loving it. I'm still loving the fact that it stabilizes everything and makes everything smoother. So when I do move the camera around, it's a little more cinematic. I guess that's what I'm looking for, and it will be really beneficial when I start doing outdoor stuff again once spring hits and I can go outside and not freeze to death and get some pretty decent shots. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Other than that, that is my day. My video just posted. I saw it from yesterday. The New Year video with photo review. I didn't close out the video because by the time I added in the photo review, I felt like it was a little long. So I just kind of left it where it was. It was kind of fun to look back. Some of those videos and some of the pictures are prior to me vlogging because I obviously didn't start vlogging until I think April, I believe it was. And the sun is hitting me right in the eyeball. Let me slide over a little bit. So I didn't start vlogging until then, but it's really kind of cool to be able to get in there and see it and see what happened all in 2017, and quite a bit went on, and I was quite impressed. So I'm really hoping for a good 2018 as well. If things stay the way they are right now, there could potentially be a weekend Disney trip in my near future. If they do change a little bit, well, that's okay too. I don't mind. So I'm really looking forward to it. It was really cool looking through there, and also one of the pictures, the picture showed a Disney, the office, my office, before I actually started working from home. And it showed the office before I actually got it all to where it is now. And it was kind of neat to see all of the changes that I've made to this office since that I started it. And I haven't really done a full-on view of the office other than, showing you what's behind me. Also, if you look, I'm going to rotate. I'm trying to learn how to use this gimbal still. Up is down. There we go. So this is a weird look on my eyes, just so weird. So if you look over there on that shelf right behind me, you'll notice something that I did get for Christmas. The CM with the Mickey Mouse. That is a cast member magnet that cast members at Walt Disney World would purchase from the cast store to use for their cars. And my eldest niece did give me hers that she had when she worked at Disney, along with a couple of other items as well. I also put up that shelf, so I probably should show you guys that today as well. So enough blathering on, let's look at this shelf and what's on there. Alright, so this is what's on my shelf. Now keep in mind this shelf is above the door frame, so I'm having to hold you up way up high. That's why it's only in a hole. If you notice there, I have a few little things. These are things I got from Christmas. So there is a Mickey Mouse snow globe there, a little Mickey Mouse clip. That Mickey Mouse I will tell you about in a second, and this is a main entrance pass for cast members. So when you work at Disney, you get, I'm trying to adjust my gimbal again, you get some free passes to Disney World, and that is the pass that you would use. Again, my oldest niece gave me these items from her time there. This Mickey is what you get when you graduate from Traditions. That is the class of learning or training for Disney. Scrolling across my orange hat from the Halloween party from this year. And then here we have the 2 Magic Bands finally have a home. And I also got this Disney cup. It's an older Disney cup, but I like it because it's Disney. And then there's another Disney lanyard up there as well, which is a cast member lanyard. When I start to do pins, I have some really, really cool pins that I'm going to do on a Pin Mail Monday. I just haven't got them out yet to show you. I'm going to give you a quick scan of the room here, show you what all I got. You've seen those posters before. That's one of the star showers that I got as well. This is my craft box, by the way, if you haven't never seen that before. That's all my craft stuff. But I got that as well. It's the Disney Princesses. I'm probably going to put it up in here, oddly enough. My backpack that I got at Disney World, this one I picked up while I was there this last trip. It's a canvas bag. The magnet did come off pretty easily, but I've still got it. I'm just going to sew it on so that it stays in there. But it was a fairly inexpensive bag. I think it was like 30 bucks, 40 bucks. And it worked really well. The first bag that I bought while I was there was in here. It's one of those vinyl bags. I really like that style better, but it tore within the first few days. So Alice in Wonderland's on that wall. If you haven't seen these before, that's the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and Snow White's Scary Adventures. And then I'll show you as we move around the treadmill, which never gets used. I also got these for Christmas as well. They're children's books, but they are Sleeping Beauty and Bambi. And I quite think they're neat. The artwork in them is quite amazing. This one's upside down for some reason. The Tsum Tsums are on here. I haven't ever put them on the shelves. They're just there. And as we go around the room, you can see the rest of the room now. Mickey Balloon. Some more posters. The Railroad. Big Thunder. Poor Balloony. Balloony has finally bit the dust and fell from graces, unfortunately. So he's down there hanging out. Mickey on the couch. And then I've got a few Wishes items there. That's just a chalkboard that has some words from Wishes on it. Mickey Sorcerer Hat. That's the drone. It's in its box. And then I have these fellows here, which is the more posters, Space Mountain and Monorail. You usually see all this stuff behind me when I'm videoing. The pin lanyards that I use while I'm there. This one does not get used. This is the first pin lanyard I ever bought. And it has the, I call it the Festival of Fantasy character pins. And then I'm going to get up here real high since we're looking at stuff and let you see this entire row of shelving. This is everything on the Mickey shelf. Not specifically Mickey per se, it's just this is the Mickey shelf because it has Mickey Mouse on it. And you can see all the stuff that's up there. And then this is the mini shelf, which has a combo of everything on it. You can see my Tower of Terror hat. And then you can also see the autograph book we've looked at before, as well as the 2016 Not So Scary pins. I don't frame those. They're already in that box, so I just left them there. And then you guys see this all the time, but that is the Haunted Mansion shelf. And if I can zoom in on it there, that is the cast member magnet that I keep right there. And I'm going to show you something else that you don't normally see. This is going to go around the room. This is what I normally look at when I'm working. This is the side you see. Now, normally those ears are on the Stormtrooper, but I took them off earlier. And so this is my autograph plaque. These are my junk pins or trader pins. Not really traders per se. That's actually the full set. So it's not really traders. It's just pins that I haven't decided what I'm going to do with. This is my trader board. So if you see anything on here you want, please let me know. I would be happy to trade with you. Those are some additional passes that she gave me. I actually got to use that once or twice while she was working there. But so those are some of my trader pins. And, oh, I got caught on the tripod. This is the board that you've seen a million times, I'm sure. This is all the pins that I have that are not really traders. These are need to be completed sets, I should say. You can also see the string sticking out from behind the board. That's lovely. I don't think I show you this case very often because there's a glare. This case right here is all pins that don't really have sets that per se, with the exception of the Haunted Mansion set there. This mostly is just pins that I've collected along the way that I like, that I just don't want to trade but don't really have a set and I don't need to frame individually. And you can see the Figment shelf, which I think you've seen this before when I put it up, but that is all the Figment stuff right there. So now you've got a little tour of the office. If you look at the video from yesterday, you'll see that a lot of what I got and what I showed you in the office before has changed quite a bit. Also, I have this hideous mirror, which we won't talk about that mirror. It's just there. So there you have it. You get to see a little bit of where the magic happens all the time. You usually see all this stuff anyway. You can see the Haunted Mansion behind me and part of my desk as well. But you don't normally see the whole room because I just don't really think anybody cares to see that. But that is my office. This is where I work and do my work and do other things as well. My craft stuff is in here also. You can see my thumb. That's because I'm holding the Osmo in a weird direction. So, but this is my office. This is what you see normally when we're talking, and I just pulled myself out of frame. There we go. So this is what you normally see while we're talking, but you get to see the rest of the room and how it's kind of changed and evolved as I've moved on. I know there's not a lot to the room, but it is kind of cool. I like it. It is full on Disney. Lots and lots of Disney stuff in here. People give me Disney things and I bring it in here and put it in here. Like for example, the lamp that's behind me I got for Christmas. The Mickey back there, I'm looking at the camera, but the Mickey back there with the flower my mom got me. But most everything else came from Disney World directly. And that's kind of what I really wanted to put in here in the first place, was stuff from Disney World. But I quite like it. My desk also, I have not shown that out in a while, I don't think either. But I have mentioned before, it is Jungle Cruise themed. So it does have like wooden crates and boat pylons and everything underneath it. And a very rustic look to it. So I quite like that as well. Anyway, I've blathered on enough for this video and for today, I believe. So if you're not, make sure you subscribe if you've come to me and just all of a sudden found me and want to subscribe and see more videos like this, or boring ones even more so. Make sure you subscribe today. Like this video, please, if you're watching it, because every like helps to garner more things. Apparently there's some sort of algorithm that goes with YouTube, and so I guess that helps. So like if you like it. Like if you don't like it. Make sure you leave a comment if you liked anything in the pins. I'd love to do some trading. I haven't done any trading in a little bit, so if you want to do some trading, let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and call this day done and over with, and finish out the rest of my work day. The sun will be going down soon, so I will see you guys on the other side. Till tomorrow.